How are you, my fascinating Renaissance friends? Okay, what do you think if you read an article that starts with its statement, you might as well live? Very intriguing, isn't it? Okay, we'll try and find more about that. This is episode 153, and this is Miss Malu Cervantes of My Season of Life, 60 years and beyond. And together we are navigating how to age gracefully, age wisely, and age elegantly. And we're continuing the reminiscing, activity that we've started. Okay, for this entire month of December, and also me, okay, acquiescing to your request that I bear, okay, myself a little more, okay, so that you get to understand me, and so that we can have something in common, and so the narratives, okay, will be what more lessons for you, and so that we can actually engage more, and I'm continuing with that. Okay, so you might as well live. Let me read to you the entire, not article, I guess the entire paragraph, very, very short paragraph. Okay? It says here, none of the things we busy ourselves over matters, okay, because we are just visitors here. Remember, I keep on using the word sojourner. Sojourn is a travel. Sojourner is a fellow traveler. So, which means we're temporary visitors. Okay? Okay? Borrowing time, chasing meaning, trying to leave fingerprints, which will be forgotten. Anyway, even people who built monuments for them, okay, they see the monuments and they will find out, oh, that's Jose Rizal, that's our national hero, period. They won't even bother. Okay? So, why not live as if we are all never meant to stay? Ah. Realize all this is temporary. Small, fragile, then something shifts or changes. We love louder, risk failure, which means we've tried. So if we failed, at least we've tried. If we didn't fail, we didn't try. Okay? Zoom out to see we're just specks in an infinite space. Yet we are chosen. Wow! To feel, create, connect. This is not an accident. This is a miracle. So, you might as well live. Okay? Love like you mean it. Speak the truth while we still can. Because if everything fades and the only thing that ever mattered was how alive we were while we're here right now. Wonderful, isn't it? Might as well live. Now, without realizing that this article actually dovetails with one of the rules of a meaningful life written by the Russian author Fyodor Dostoevsky. Well, he has 5. It actually aligns with the first one. And that is what? According to him, the journey is the destination. Okay. Now, in keeping with our approach, of radiation, because you wanted me to share with you, parts of my life, and I've said that, I'm not just gonna tell you any part, without any reason or rhyme, but it has to be structured and it has to be connected somehow, and this particular article and number one rule for a meaningful life of the journey is a destination I could think of. Okay. It is actually one of the most beautiful things that I've learned from my husband during our married life. Okay. Which was what? Which was the antithesis of who I am, but not really who I am, but what I prefer to do or how I prefer to do things. Okay. I told you I'm structured and I'm organized, isn't it? So every time we go on a trip, whether it's just the two of us or whether with the kids, especially when they're growing up, I have to plan every detail. Meaning the budget, okay, we have to have reservations in hotels, okay, whether the kids have enough clothes, how many, all of these things. Why? If we don't have any reservation in hotels, if we're bringing the car and we do not know where we're going to get gas, etc., etc., what's going to happen? I don't want to be stressed. So his idea of fun, okay, is really getting lost and being extemporaneous. Meaning, out of the blue, you want to go out? Fine, let's go out. I said, yeah, right. But it's gonna be left at home. Where do we? How many pieces of clothing? We don't have a reservation. If we get to our destination, we may not have a hotel room. And then he would say, well, we will sleep in the car and things like that. That is his idea of fun. Very extemporaneous, real adventure, which is the opposite of Miss Malu. Isn't it? Told you. My idea of a vacation and enjoyment is properly organized. I don't want any surprises. I don't want to have any stress. Okay. So that was really tough for both of us. But again, I realized the wisdom. Okay? The wisdom of his seemingly carefree philosophy. Okay, there's another thing also. If you say, for instance, Baguio is a place in the Philippines where it is our summer place because it's cool, it's mountainous, in the mountainous area of the north, okay, of the Luzon Island, full of mountains, very high. So the weather there is very cool. And yeah, and you have pine trees all over. Just it's not it's just like abroad. If you're there, it is as if you're not in the Philippines because it's totally different terrain. In fact, when the Americans were here, they had their how do you call that? They had their outpost there. That was their summer. Summer camp. That was their summer camp. Camp John Hay. Okay, American homes because that's where the American soldiers stayed, during that time. Well, anyway, so if you say you're going to Baguio, at that time, Baguio without the two expressways would take 4 or 5 hours, 4 hours, just steady driving. So for me, my vacation starts the moment we arrive in Baguio. Okay? The moment we arrive in Baguio. So any distractions, any distractions, anything that cuts on the time, 4 hours, I get very stressed because I'm waiting for the time to arrive to Baguio to be able to enjoy. Well, his idea of a vacation starts when we leave the house. Okay? For him, the journey, the enjoyment, the vacation is not the destination. It's the journey. Okay? For me, my vacation starts after the journey when we reach the destination. Can you imagine that? Okay, this is what he will do, which used to exasperate me. Not anymore though. Okay. So that will be a long stretch of highway. Just like cross country trip in America. You have long highway, and then you have pit stops. The pit stops are gasoline stations where you have those snack bars. Okay. Here, I kid you not. We will stop at every gasoline station where he would sip his coffee as if there is no tomorrow. while I would fret and say we are losing time, Okay. The 4 hours would stretch to 5 hours, 6 hours, and all of that. Why? Because he's enjoying his vacation at every pit stop. Okay. Until I realize, yeah, there's wisdom there. So I stopped fretting. So if we say, well, right now with the kids, well, he didn't do that. He didn't do that very often. It's just the two of us. Our vacation starts the moment we leave the house. Okay, I'm prepared. Every pit stop there is on this planet, on the way to our destination, I expect him to stop. And we will stop and we will, we will enjoy it. Okay? There's wisdom to it. That's why the journey is the destination, really. What's your destination? Vacation, enjoyment. Why can't you not enjoy until, and when I told that story to my friends, they were all laughing. I said, yeah, right. Okay, the 3-hour journey becomes 5 hours because of the pit stops. But it resonates, isn't it? So it states here, well, we may not reach the, go that way again. Why miss that? Why? It's being alive at the moment. It also dovetail with the second rule of meaningful life by Fyodor Dostoevsky. He said, to be alive is to embrace freedom. That's what he said. Okay, isn't it? Okay, you might as well live. Because life is very temporary here. Okay, it's being alive at the moment. And not just really focusing on, how many more hours, how many days, etc., etc. The preparation itself, is the beginning, of the journey. That's what I've learned. And now, I don't get frustrated anymore. Why? Because I've learned to live every moment, every moment as a free person, as if this is the last day of my life on planet Earth. Okay? Alright. Does this resonate with you? Is your significant other like this? Or is your significant other, or does your significant other have other quirks? Okay, that you've learned to love and enjoy in this journey of your relationship. Tell me there in the comments, okay? So don't forget to like and subscribe, all right? And so until then, this is Malu Cervantes in my season of life. Sayonara.